Hey everybody, thanks for dropping by. I was reading an article the other day about money languages, and I thought it was interesting, and I don't know how many of you have ever heard of the five love languages, which I had heard about a little while ago, and my wife and I had worked on. I think there's an app out for it that you can tell your spouse how you're feeling if you're connected through the app. But the five love languages just teach how we speak and receive love. Now, the five love languages are words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. So what that means is if you're, say, a quality time person, your love tank gets filled up when your spouse, or anybody really, but more when your spouse, spends quality time with you. Now, if you're married to an active service person or a physical touch person, they may not necessarily have their tank filled with quality time. For them, it would be doing something for them in the acts of service, or just reaching out and holding their hand. Or maybe placing your hand on their shoulder if you have a question to ask her. Your hand on their forearm, or wrapping your arm around them when you're sitting in church, or whatever it looks like. But if you're a quality time person, you want to spend quality time, but you have to be careful that you're not trying to impose your love language on somebody else who does not have the same love language, because they're just not going to feel as loved as you would. That being said, just like there is the five love languages, there's also, this article said, that we have a money language. And there's four money languages, which is how you view money and what money means to you. Now, just like the love languages, if you're trying to speak your money language to somebody who doesn't speak the same language, then they're not going to feel loved by the way you're handling money. Now, the four money languages are the driver, the analytic, the amiable, and the expressive. Now, each one of these has a good side and a not so good side. And the conflict comes, just like everything else, when we have different money languages with each other, which is a good thing, because if two of you identically were married, one of you is unnecessary. According to Larry Burkett, he used to say that back in the 90s, 80s and 90s. So the different languages, I'll explain what they are. I'll give the strengths, the weaknesses, and then the relationships. And as I read these out to you, or say these to you, think about yourself, which one you most connect with. And then think about your spouse, which one they most connect with. And then we should be able to figure out how we can work together. Okay, let's start with the driver. The driver uses money as a tool for control and success. Their strengths are to maintain independence. They tend to be ambitious, proactive, and willing to take a calculated risk to achieve financial success. They're often great at strategic planning. They're entrepreneurs, typically, and investing in high return, high risk opportunities. Drivers thrive on financial growth and see wealth as a measure of personal achievement. Think big car or big houses, fancy cars, jewelry, those kinds of things. The more they can accumulate, the more they feel that they're a success. Now, their weakness is because their strong drive for success can sometimes lead drivers to make quick, impulsive decisions or take on too much risk. In relationships, they could become dominant when it comes to financial matters, making decisions without consulting their partner, and this can create tension, especially if their spouse has a different approach to money. Drivers can prioritize financial success over emotional or relational needs, leading to imbalances if not carefully managed. So in a relationship, when a driver partners with someone who has a different financial perspective, open communication is key. A driver can benefit from learning to listen to their spouse's input and understand that not everyone is comfortable with high-risk financial choices. Being flexible and involving both spouses in decision-making can help create a healthier, more balanced dynamic. Okay, that's the driver. The amiable, money to them means security and harmony. An amiable sees money as a way to provide security and keeps things stable in their relationships. They value consistency and are careful with their spending. They focus on saving and budgeting. They're good at setting aside money for emergencies and tend to put family or community needs before their own. Knowing they have a financial safety net gives them peace of mind. Now, their weakness is they can be cautious with their approach to money and can sometimes hold them back from taking a risk that could help their finances grow. Because they often put others first, they might not invest enough in their own financial goals or long-term opportunities. An amiable might also avoid talking about money with their partner if they're worried it could lead to a conflict, which could cause misunderstandings or unresolved issues. Now, in relationships, they do well when they're with someone who makes them feel secure, but also gently encourages them to explore growth opportunities. For example, if they're with a driver, they may find balance between risk and stability while respecting each other's values. Again, like the driver, open conversations about financial goals can help an amiable feel more comfortable with new ideas and strategies. That's the amiable. Okay, now we come to the analytic. The analytic is money as a system to be perfected. The analytic sees money as a system that works best when carefully managed. They're great at saving, they're good at planning, and sticking to a budget. They enjoy understanding all the details of their investments and are skilled at managing complex financial concepts. Their organized approach makes them excellent at planning for the future and cutting out unnecessary expenses. Their weakness is their focus on perfection can sometimes cause them to have analysis of paralysis. They spend too much time thinking about options and not taking enough time or taking action. They may avoid risks to the point that they limit their financial growth. In their relationships, their attention to detail can sometimes come across as controlling, untrusting, especially if their partner is more relaxed about money. In their relationship, analytics can benefit from learning to trust their partner's perspective and be more flexible. For instance, if they're paired with an expressive, which we're going to get into next, they may start to see money not just as something to protect, but as a resource to enjoy. With good communication, analytics can learn to take balanced risks that will help them grow financially without losing their sense of security. That's the analytic. And if you didn't figure it out, the analytic is the best one to do the budget. Now, we have expressives. Expressive is money is a means of enjoyment and connection. The strength of an expressive, they see money as a way to enjoy life, as a way to connect with others. They tend to be generous and they love spending on experiences. That brings them joy and creates memories for them and those they surround themselves with. They focus on the present moment and value money for the happiness it can bring to themselves and the people they care about. So obviously their weakness is their focus on fun and spontaneity can sometimes lead to them to overspend, ignore budgeting completely, and prioritize short-term fun over long-term security and peace. In their relationships, though, their easygoing attitude towards money may cause tensions, especially if their partner is more careful or focused on details. Expressives might also struggle to stick to a financial plan, which it can make saving or investing more difficult. Now, in their relationships, expressives do well when they partner with someone who can help them see the importance of planning without taking away enjoyment for life. For example, an expressive with an analytic partner might learn how to enjoy financial security while still leaving room for fun. By agreeing on a budget that includes both savings and fun money, expressives can create a more balanced approach to their spending and saving. Now, how many of you see yourselves in one of these languages? How many of you see your spouse in one of these languages? How many of you got completely lost and stopped paying attention? Haha, that would be me, actually. Now, when spouses recognize and respect their different views on finances, it makes it easier to communicate, and it helps reduce arguments and work together towards shared goals. Okay, here's some tips for making it work. Number 1, open communication. Make it a habit of talking about your financial goals, your spending habits, and your concerns. Helps both spouses stay on the same page and better understand each other's point. Value the strengths and address the weaknesses of each money language. Appreciate each other's financial strengths, a driver's ambition, an Amiables caution, an Analytic's planning, and the expressive's love for enjoyment, for instance, kind of brings a balanced perspective. Create a shared spending plan, a plan that reflects both values from both spouses. Maybe allocate or give part of the budget for the driver for investments. Maybe you definitely want to put some aside for an Amiable for savings. Make sure that the analytic is the one doing the detailed analysis, because that's what they like to do and that's what brings them love and enjoyment. And of course, for the expressives, you got to give them some fun money. You need to set some common goals. $1,000 emergency fund, paying off debt, buying a house, going on a family trip, those kinds of things. Allows both partners to feel valued. And then, of course, you want to bring balance and compromise. Be willing to compromise. Every financial perspective offers something important. A strong partnership makes space for both security and growth. Now, out of these 4 money languages, Dave Ramsey has actually narrowed it down even further to 2. He calls them the nerd and the free spirit. The nerd, as you can imagine, is the numbers person. They live for Excel. They love the numbers. They buy if it's on sale on Triple Coupon Thursday. When they grab their wallet, it reminds you of Pigpen in Charlie Brown, with all the dust floating around, and when they open it, the moths fly out. And then you have the free spirit. The free spirit is the one who wears out the wallets. They have to buy a new one every other month from all its use. And they were the early adopters of Apple Pay and Google Pay, because now they only have have to grab their wallet and pull it out. Although, on the other hand, it kind of makes them sad because now they don't have an excuse to buy a wallet every month. But, I mean, if it's on sale, I don't know. They don't even know how to use a coupon half the time. You know, I believe the free spirit is put on earth, as Dave says, so the nerds actually have fun. And the nerd is put on this earth so the free spirit can make it to retirement. You know, marriage is a team effort. Money management is no exception. Money is the number one, or one of the number one causes of divorce, but it's also not one of the number one causes of fights in a marriage. And if we can't get on the same page, it's going to be tough. But here's the thing, successful marriages are built on partners who respect each other's habits, their money languages, and pull everything together so they handle money together at the same time and work things out. There's something about handling your personal finances together that brings you much closer. You have financial intimacy, which helps grow all your other intimacies together. So hey, I thought that article was interesting. Hopefully you found it interesting too. Hopefully I didn't bore you too much. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We'd love to chat with you. And don't forget, we have the new hybrid coaching coming up. There's going to be more. There's a link down in the bio, and click on that. Ask any questions you need, and we'd love to hang out with you. So until next time.